Good morning, students. In previous video, we have discussed the fifth unit introduction part and about the center of mass. And we have learned how to find out the center of mass for distributed masses. And I believe that you have learned that formula, three formula. It is very important formula you have to remember. For x coordinate system, xcm is equal to sigma mi xi by sigma mi. Or you can write xcm is equal to sigma mi xi by capital M. M means the total mass. By using this formula, by using this center of mass equation, now we can find out the center of mass of two-point mass. Assume that we have 2-point mass M1 and M2. 2-point mass M1, M2. M1 and M2. This 2-point mass you have kept at a different position. X1 and X2. Now you can find out the center of mass for various cases. Three ways you can find out the center of mass when you keep these two masses at a position x1 and x2. The first way is when the masses are on positive x-axis. When the masses are on positive x-axis. We know the basic formula. What formula? The formula is what? xcm equal to sigma mi xi by sigma mi. Now when the mass are on in the positive axis. So this is the coordinate system we are taking. Okay, and you can choose on origin. Arbitrarily you can choose. Arbitrarily means just choose. Simply you choose on origin, and mass M1 kept at a position x1. Mass M2 kept at a position x2, and finding the center of mass. Now you can find out the center of mass for this. This is you are choosing an x coordinate system, and the particle which is kept at the two position m1 and m2 at the position what are x1 and x2. Now you can find out the center of mass by using the formula. How you can find out? xcm equal to sigma mi xi by sigma mi. This is the formula, basic formula we are choosing, and from this formula what you can write means sigma mi xi means what? Mi means anytime sigma mi means what? The total mass. Anytime you can use that. All mass you can use. So here your mass is M1. M1. Then X1. M1 is at the position X1. Then what? Summation is there. Summation. So plus M2 is at the position x2. This is what we are finding. You see, xcm equal to summation mi xi. Summation mi xi means all the mass and its position. M1 is at position x1. Summation plus M2 mass is at the position x2. Mass 1 is at the position x1, mass m2 at the position x2 divided by sigma mi. Sigma mi means total mass. M1 plus M2 total mass. So this is a formula. This is a center of mass formula for these two masses which is kept at the position x1 and x2 in a what x coordinate system. In the same, you can find out the second way. Second way is, you see, when the origin coordinates, when the origin coincide with any one mass. This is the second way. This is the second way you can find out the center of mass for these two mass which is kept at a different position. What are? When the origin coincide with any one of the mass. Now you can write, you see, this is a diagram. Origin coordinate with one of the mass. So mass is at the position x1. Then x1 is in the position origin. So origin means 0. So this mass is at the position origin. Position at the origin. Origin means 0. So x1 is equal to 0. Mass only is at the position origin, but that position is what? At the origin. So position 1 is 0. x1 is 0. Now mass m2 is kept at the position x2, m1, m2 and center of mass. We can find center of mass. Now you see x1 is 0. So from this formula what you can tell? xcm is equal to m1 into 0 plus m2 x2 divided by m1 plus m2. m1 into 0 is 0. So xcm equal to, this term becomes 0, m2 x2 by m1 plus m2. This is another way you can find out the center of mass when the mass is at the origin. Any one mass is kept at the origin, then you can use this formula to find out the center of mass. Now the third way is, what? When the origin coincide with the center of mass itself. When the origin coincide with center of mass itself. Okay. The CM means not Chief Minister, center of mass. Okay, I am writing. So center of mass. Okay. Now origin is coincide with the center of mass itself. So draw the diagram. Mass 1, origin coordinate with the center of mass. Mass 1 is at position x1, mass 2 is at position x2. This is origin. Center of mass is passing through origin. M1 is at the position x1. x1 is where? At negative side. So minus x1 you can take. Minus x1. Because it is in what? Negative x-axis. This is positive x-axis. So what you can write this equation? Write the equation. Now write the equation. XCM equal to sigma, not sigma, this formula, no? M1 x1 is minus x1 plus m2 x2 divided by m1 plus m2. Now you see, center of mass is at the origin. So center of mass is at the origin means center of mass is 0. So 0 equal to minus m1 x1 plus m2 x2 by m1 plus m2. Now take this m1 plus m2 this side. So 0 into m1 plus m2. It becomes what? It becomes 0. So no need this. 0 into m1 plus m2 is 0 equal to minus m1 x1 plus m2 x2. This equal to m1 x1 equal to m2 x2. This is another formula. We can tell this is equal to principle of moment. We will learn, okay? Coming units we will learn about this formula, m1 x1 plus m2 x2. Principle of moment formula, that is. Okay? So listen here. This is one important question. You can learn 3-mark question. And this formula is very, very important. You see what are center of mass of 2-point mass. 2-point mass is there. You are keeping at 2 position in the x coordinate system. Then finding the center of mass by using our equation, center of mass equation. First case, for that 3 ways. When the masses are on positive x-axis, 2 mass which is kept at positive x-axis at the position x1 and x2. So you can use what? XCM is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 divided by m1 plus m2. The same formula only we are writing. Remember that. Then origin coincide with any one mass. Origin coincide with any one mass means that mass is kept at that position is x1 and that x1 is on 0 origin. So x1 is 0. So m1 into x1, m1 into 0, that will cancel. So m2 x2 by m1 plus m2. The next is the last case is when the origin coincides with the center of mass itself. When the origin coincides with the center of mass itself, center of mass is 0. So what we will get, and the x1 is at the position negative x-axis minus x1. So 0 equal to m1 into minus x1 plus m2 x2 divided by m1 plus m2. So this minus m1 x1 after coming this side, it will change into m1 x1. So m1 x1 is equal to m2 x2. This is how we can find out the center of mass for 2-point mass. And the next topic is center of mass for uniform distribution of mass. Based on these formulas, example 5.1, you can solve it out. Very simple problem and important problem. Work out that problem. This is your homework, 5.1 and 5.2. 5.1, 5.2 and 5.3 is very, very important question which is asked in previous exam. So mark example 5.3, very, very important question in this unit. Example 5.3 is very, very, very important question. previous exam, last year exam, this question asked. Okay, so mark that problem and practice it. It is your homework. And next one is center of mass. Center of mass for uniform distribution. Center of mass for uniform distribution of mass. Assume that you have a bulk body. Okay, you have a bulk body and you want to find out the center of mass for that bulk body. Now that bulk body you are distributing in small point mass. Like assume that one body like this, one bulk body, one example only, one bulk body like this, you want to find out the center of mass for this. How one method you can use is, you can choose an coordinate system like this. So x coordinate system, no, then y, x, y, z. So you can choose a coordinate system like this. Then what? Distribute mass, point mass, distribute. So this is what? Center of mass for uniform distribution of mass. Uniformly you have distributed all these what? The whole bulk body mass you are distributed in small mass, point mass. Delta M. Delta M. So M1, M2, M3, M4, M5, M6 like that up to N mass you can distribute. So we are choosing delta M, small mass, delta M. After distribution, you can find out the center of mass from x-axis. Means if it is x-axis, you can use this formula. If the distributed mass is in x-axis, you can use this formula. X Cm is equal to xcm is equal to summation delta m xi divided by summation m I. So if it is in x-axis, from that bulk bodies you have distributed the whole bulk body in a small mass, point mass. So if it is in x-axis, you can use this formula, summation delta mi xi by summation what delta mi. And if it is in y-axis, you can choose this formula, summation delta mi yi by summation delta mi. Z-axis means you can use summation delta mi zi by summation delta mi. So this is the formulas you can use to find out the center of mass for these distributed masses. One more method is there. You can find out the center of mass for this uniform distribution of mass by another three formula. That is this delta M. Delta M means what? Very small, infinitely small you can tell. So you can write this delta M as dm. And you have to integrate. Suppose in the x-axis you have distributed these point masses from x1 to what m1 to m1, and which is kept at the position x1 to xn. So the whole mass after distribution you can integrate. So you can use this formula, x cm equal to integration x dm by dm. Now if you are integrating this, you will get a for the whole body. For y-axis you can use y dm by dm, and for z-axis you can use z dm by dm. This is what the formulas you can use to find out the center of mass for the uniform distribution of mass. It means you are distributing the point masses, whole bulk body mass into point mass, and if you integrate you can use this formula, or else you can use this one. And based on this there is an example 5.4. this is also you can take as your homework. And the next topic is motion of center of mass. Motion of center of mass. Motion of center of mass, assume that a rigid body is moving. So when a rigid body is moved, its center of mass also moving along with this. For that one equation. Normally for kinematic equation we know velocity is equal to dx by dt, displacement by time. So we can differentiate first differentiation, second differentiation. First differentiation means what? Dx by dt, and the second differentiation is d by dx by dt. So this is what the velocity, this is acceleration. So if we differentiate this time, differentiate this displacement with respect to time, for the first derivative we will get the velocity, and the second derivative form we will get what? Acceleration. So you can write you can find the center of mass when this rigid body moves. So you can write VCM is equal to sigma m. VCM is equal to first differentiation form xcm by dt, dxcm by dt. So displacement by time. So from this you can write this formula. Equal to, this you can write VCM equal to, you can differentiate sigma mi. This is our formula. This is our formula. What our center of mass formula mi. You can differentiate this xi dxi by dt. So this formula we are differentiating. xcm is equal to what is sigma mi xi by sigma mi. Here we are differentiating this xi. That's what sigma mi dxi by dt. First differentiation with respect to time. So dx by dt means what? The velocity. So you can write this equation. Vcm is equal to sigma m I v I by sigma mi. The same formula. This is what we can find out the center of mass for moving rigid bodies. Now, if you differentiate one more time, we will get the acceleration. For that, d by dt of what? This dx. One more time, you can differentiate dx cm by dt. This is what a second differentiation for. So, when we differentiate this, accelerations. So for this velocity, first derivative form, after derivation we will get what? The center of mass formula for velocity, and now we are finding acceleration. For that the second derivative form you have to write. So now we can differentiate this equation sigma mi. Instead of VA, dVi by dt, differentiate. That is what the second derivative. Now, divided by sigma mi is equal to sigma mi dv by dt. dv by dt means acceleration. So, ACM divided by sigma mi. So, this is a formula. This is a formula to find out what? Not ACM, AI. dV by dt means what? Acceleration. So AI is there. This is acceleration. We can find out. So you see, this is how we can find the motion of center of mass. So first derivative form, velocity first derivative form is dx by dt. So you can you can differentiate this first with the respect to first derivative form. So this xi becomes what? dxi by dt. So this dxi by dt you can write what? Velocity. Dx by dt means displacement by time, that is velocity. So velocity, center of mass, you can find out by using this one. Now this kinematic form, second derivative form, acceleration, second derivative form, d by dt of this velocity. It means you can differentiate this VA. Again, second time you can differentiate. So dvi by dt. This dvi by dt, you can write it as what? dv by dt means acceleration. You can write. Now assume that a moving body, no external force is applied. So if external force is 0, no external force is applied means the rigid body, if you want to move or shift the rigid body, what do you have to do? Only it is possible by internal force. So internal force means center of mass will not change. Center of mass will be at rest. Center of mass is at rest means this velocity Vcm is also 0 or Vcm is constant. So you can write this equation 0 equal to sigma mi by sigma mi. This is what? If there is no external force, then what will happen? The rigid body want to move or shift, it is possible only by internal force. Internal force means the center of mass is at rest. Center of mass is not changing. Center of mass not change means this Vcm is 0. So acceleration also What will get? ACM also 0 will get. Suppose if there is an external force, if external force is not equal to 0 means what will happen? What will happen means this formula, you see, ACM equal to sigma mi AI by sigma mi. What is this MA? MA means external force. MA means what? F is equal to MA, external force. External force, not 0 means F external. This formula you can write what? Sigma mi AI equal to sigma mi into ACM. So this means what? The external force. So F external force is equal to sigma mi ACM. So from this, acceleration is equal to, you can write F external divided by sigma mi. And the sigma mi means what? The total mass. Total mass ACM you can write what? F external by capital F. So this is what you can find out the what when a body, a rigid body moves, its center of mass and velocity you can find out by using the first derivative and the second derivative form you can use of velocity and acceleration. Then you can find out this center of mass what formula. And dear students, today homework is already I gave, and that example 5.3 is very important. Solve this 5.4 based on our last formula, integration formula, and based on this practice example 5.5 problem. And thank you all.